And now we will talk with a renowned Malaysian family with autism, or better known as Adam's autism family. Now, Adam's father, Mr. Iman Wan, will tell us stories about obviously his son, Adam, who was diagnosed with autism since he was 2.5 years old. Now, good morning, Mr. Iman.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for joining
morning.
us. Hi, how are you today?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you very much.
Okay, now, Mr. Iman, let's just jump into our first question. Obviously, Adam was diagnosed when he was 2.5 years old, such an early age, as he obviously, you as his parent, was there to know and acknowledge it. So what was the first thing that you did when he was diagnosed with ASD?
Right. I mean, we're talking about some 18 years ago. So, I mean, it's not like today, back then.
Yeah.
It's not easy to get information, and there wasn't much, even on the internet. So it's a whole different ball game compared to back then and now. For me, when I first was told that my son has autism, it didn't really hit me at first. We thought like it was something that would just go away. Like, okay, so he has autism and it's gonna like fade out. What is it? I mean, we had no idea. So
Yeah.
there wasn't really a reaction initially until about a couple of years. It took a couple of years before it really set in. It made me realize that, oh, wow, my son has a lifelong condition.
I see. I see. And what you went through, obviously, has been a lot, Mr. Iman, with Adam. Now, we want to know, how did you manage it? Since we know it's definitely not easy to care for a child with autism. And now, Adam is 20 years old. Please tell us what you went through.
Right. First thing first, I just want to establish this that when you meet one child with autism, you only meet one child because it's a spectrum. So not every kid, you probably hear Adam in the background. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Yeah. So if you like, see Adam, don't assume that every child with autism is like Adam. It's very, very different. Every one of them is unique. But in our case, we went through a lot. And a lot of people ask me that question, and it's very hard for me to answer because it's really an ongoing journey, and it's very different for everyone, every child, every family. Not only the child it's on the spectrum, but as a matter of fact, the entire family is on the spectrum, right? So many variables are involved. But coming back to myself is, it was really hard. The hardest part was actually on ourselves, the parents, me and my wife, going through the transition, because we cannot expect the child to figure it out for us, to adapt to us, to fit into our world.
Yeah,
so eventually I realized that, in order for us to have a fulfilling life and, to have a better future as a family, we have to change. So me and my family, my wife, we decided, we need to make a change. And that transition was really, really hard. I mean, we pretty much became different people with priorities were different. Everything basically pretty much revolved around Adam. It's not easy. I mean, change has never been easy for anyone.
Yeah.
So, but with Adam, with something that we were not, taught. We had no idea what it was. It was an ongoing, constant, process. We evolved as we went along. Just when we thought that we had figured it all out, and then something new came around, and we have to do, learn, relearn, and that's how it's been over the last 18 years. Life-changing indeed.
Yeah.
I see. It's a long process, and what you and your wife did was admirable. Now, if we talk about 18 years ago, you have said before that you have limited source of information. So how do you get the right information that are maybe suitable for Adam's condition when he was 2.5 years old?
Well, actually, there was not really the right, we don't even know if we got the right information. A lot of trials and errors, and as I said, it's ongoing. We make mistakes. It's not like, we got all the information, we figured it out, and then we execute, and it was all perfect. No, it was not close to that, never like that. It was always making mistakes,
And try
falling
again.
down and then picking ourselves up again, and getting better and better. So it's really ongoing. The learning never stopped till today. I mean, a child that's 2.5 with autism, and a child that's 10 years old with autism, compared to Adam now, today he's 20, he's an adult. It's all different, right? They come with different packages.
Yeah.
It's just like any child growing up. They keep changing, and we deal with different kind of problems. Even a normal child, going through teenage years, they have their own fair
Yeah.
share of troubles and problems that the parents deal with. And like us, we're the same. We had to deal with Adam when he was a teen, differently than when he was 5 years old. So, yeah,
Yeah.
ongoing.
It's an ongoing process, yes. Now, sir, we've seen many of your videos with Adam. We saw him playing the piano. He did swimming, and some of which displayed Adam in hyper mode. Now, how did you, obviously, and your wife, family, handle a situation like that? Now, did you do any special treatment, maybe like hugging him, or any certain movements that you did? But before that, please hold your answer. We are going to see more videos. To a moment where Adam is having his moment with his father and also his mother. And some situations may be easy, some may not.
Yeah. Can you please tell us, Mr. Iman, how you went through with this,
Yes.
with this process, and when he had this type of meltdown, what did you do to comfort him?
So, Mr. Iman, we're still having trouble hearing your feedback.
Sorry.
Our crew will actually do something
Can you
about
hear me?
that.
Yes.
Yes, now we
All
can
right.
hear you.
All right.
So your thoughts,
So
please.
I was saying that what you saw on the screen, that's not really a meltdown. He's going through, like, he's steaming away.
Right.
Yeah. So for us, initially, when it happened, it was really embarrassing because he always create a scene in the public. When in the early days, we always hesitate to bring him out, because
Right.
every time when we bring him out, he would make a scene, and it's really embarrassing. So, as I say, it took time for us to adapt to him, and it came to a point where I don't really care about what other people think
Yes.
about us and what they say.
Yes.
That's the hard part, because parents are very conscious. I mean, people in general, I think they're so worried about how they appear, how to people in the
Yeah.
public.
Yeah.
And I really never want to be a nuisance whenever I bring my son out. So I'm really conscious about that. But it came to a point that, I
Sir, you still with us?
Okay, I think we have a bit of technical problem.
Yeah, we have, okay, as we are still contacting
Mr. Iman.
Mr. Iman via
and
phone,
being,
we're still,
peace is very, very important.
All right.
Yeah.
right.
So I think that's key to everybody, every parent, every caregiver. They're really worried about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we just have to be patient. I think patient is the answer for
Obviously.
everything.
Obviously,
Yeah, it
and
takes
that the patience that you and your wife have right now it is not, it's not built in just 1 or 2 years, right?
Yeah.
It actually accumulates, okay? So obviously building that patience of yours is something which is really tough in my opinion. So actually when you said that there's a moment when you don't really care what others
Think.
obviously think, that is the good part of all. Obviously you're just thinking about, your family, especially your son.
All right.
Now let's take
Another look.
let's take a look with another video where obviously Adam was actually having another moment which he was vaccinated. So obviously, as we know, this is the COVID-19 vaccination. And as we can see, those who were around Adam was actually trying to catch his attention. Now, what can usually be done to get Adam to focus or actually concentrate on something, sir? Because obviously you did mention just to make him concentrate or just to stand still is a little bit hard.
Right. It's really, really hard to get Adam to sit down, to focus on something.
Yes.
But the only thing that works is always his iPhone, his iPad,
Right.
Gadgets. If people always say bad things about gadget, or don't give your kid gadgets. But
Yes.
without the gadget, we cannot, get by even like half an hour. So that's the only time when he has his gadget, then he focus on the iPhone, the iPad. And we have a 30-minute, 1 hour break, or if whenever we want to do something to him, then we give him the phone. Like as you can see in the video, like he's holding his phone.
Yes.
Yes,
it
he's
kinda
very much
distract him a
focused
bit.
on his phone, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's what did it. That's how they managed to vaccinate, him.
Now I noticed something sweet about Adam. If you look into the video, look at him. Every time he goes somewhere, he's got his pillow with him. What's the story behind that, Mr. Iman?
Right. We are actually in doTERRA Essential Oils. That's my business. And it's been about 5-6 years now. We infuse his pillow. It used to be a soft toy Barney. He was very into Barney. He was holding Barney everywhere he went. And now it's the pillow. We infuse the Barney he used to, and now the pillow. So he needs that whenever he's anxious, whenever he's not feeling right, he will sniff the pillow. So it's like kind of confident, He gets more confident. He wants to get reassurance, and he will sniff his pillow.
It gives him comfort, yeah?
Yes.
All right.
It comforts.
All right, Mr. Iman, I also want to know about the therapy that is now been given to Adam. Is he currently going through what kind of therapy? Maybe you can explain it to us.
Right. I know. Now he's not going through any therapy. I mean, he's 20 years old. When he was younger, we had him go through the entire works, early child intervention. We tried some therapy, but in Malaysia, I'm not sure in Indonesia, but in Malaysia, the good ones like ABA and all the good therapies, it's very, very expensive. It's not something that every family could afford.
Here is expensive
And
too.
yeah, exactly. So I decided, years back that the best therapy is, at home, and we have to do it, right? So that's when I actually went full time, stayed home, spent as much time with him as possible, did everything, because my goal wasn't, just to make him very smart, but I want him to be independent, to be able
Of
to
course.
normal living skills, right? And that's the focus. And again, it's like this is for Adam. Like every child is different, so we want to design a therapy or we set goals according to the child's conditions, right? It's not the same. For me, I mean, some kids with autism, they can read, they can write, they can be very smart,
Yes.
right? So for my son, he's not towards that. But he has very good motor skills, so I believe that he can be independent. So it's just my goal is to correct his behavior, to improve his behavior, teach him living skills, and that we can do at home, right? And we've been doing that for many, many years now.
Of course. Now, tell us and also elaborate with us a little bit more about, Adam's education. about schooling maybe, how you and your wife actually make a decision to educate him in the house or via the online maybe, or is there a special teacher who comes around, or there's a special school for that, Mr. Iman?
Yeah, like I say, it used to be. I mean, education doesn't really limit you to about reading the math or the science,
Obviously, yes.
things like that. Yeah. So I'm focusing on educating him about making decisions, normal everyday living skills, so he knows how to take care of himself. That's my goal, and that I can do. So we do a lot of things at home. Practical stuff, to really let him practice. It's not so much as reading and all that. No, I mean, it depends on the individual, the family, what they
The
want
needs
to
of the child.
accomplish, right? So for us, the education will be ongoing, and we will kind of set new goals and targets as we go along, as Adam develops, because we want to celebrate every step of the way. We don't want to be
course.
too ambitious, right? And
course.
you cannot have expectations, because if you do, then you will always have disappointments, because this child is developing at a different rate, and it sometimes
Because you
we
have
always get
expectations.
surprises. Yeah, it's hard to know. So it's to embrace who he is, and the changes, and we too have to keep evolving and making changes as we go along. Yeah.
Okay. Now, Mr. Iman, is Adam is he the only child in the family, or he's
No,
got
I have
siblings?
3. Yeah. No.
Okay,
Yeah,
so he's
he
got
has,
siblings. Yes.
Yeah, he has 2 sisters. Adam has an elder sister and a younger sister.
Right. Now, to that, my question is, how is your teamwork with your wife to actually educate the sisters to actually be involved, helping Adam?
Thank you. That's a great question, because I believe that when someone in the family has autism, everyone should be involved. Everyone in the family. It's a family affair. So I realized that many years back that I cannot do this on my own, and my wife cannot do it on her own, right? So we need to build a team around Adam. And thank God, we're able to do that, and I've kind of cultivated that close knit among all of us. I always talk about it, and I always get everybody involved. Whatever we do, we want to do it as a family, and it was really hard in the beginning. Obviously, my daughter, she wants her own thing. She has her reasons, and she was confused. She always has questions like, why is my brother like this? Why? And she, of course, if I'm embarrassed in the public, obviously she is really embarrassed. She's a kid, right? Like I don't want to bring my brother out. I don't want to be around him. And they went through all that phase. Okay, like it's different for Arena, because Arena is just a couple of years difference older than Adam, so they kind of grew up together. But the younger one, the little girl, she's adapting much faster and quicker, because she's a lot younger, and she gets to see it, the entire thing from a different perspective. So she's not like living in it. She's learning better. But you got to have ongoing, again, constant conversations between the parents and the siblings, of Adam and everybody else. And that's why we advocate so much. We talk about it, and it's our goal to basically share with the world. It's about not about just knowing what autism is. It's more like living with autism, and that's very important. A lot of people like, okay, I know what is autism, or autism is this, but it's very different in every family. The family is a spectrum. What we have, what we go through is very different from, like, for example, a single mother, a single parent. They have to go out to work, and who's going to take care of the child? They have to leave it to someone. What if she couldn't afford to have childcare or special schools?
Therapy.
What will she do? And does she have good family support? What if she doesn't have good family support? And so a lot of these variables play a part.
All right. So, Mr. Iman, as we now today we are celebrating, commemorating the World Autism Awareness Day. So, what is one thing that you want to stress out to the world and also to parents with autism, with autistic child?
Well, to all the parents is it's not the end of the world. A lot of parents, I mean, generally we have high expectations when you have a child. When we have a child, we have dreams, you know, things like that. But we must always believe that a child, it's God's gift, right? And why do we have a child like this? There is a purpose to it. So we want to embrace, but again, do not have too much expectation on yourself. You know, it's okay to feel bad. It's okay to feel down. It's okay to not know everything. It's okay to not have the answers. You don't have to have all the answers. I would say enjoy the journey, go through it, learn through it, and just embrace everything, you know, as it develops, right? There is good in all the adversities that it's in our lives. And for autism for the world, basically, I would hope that there will be more empathy among everyone, and compassionate, because it's not so much as for the child, but it's for the parents, for the family. They are going through a lot, you know, having to raise a special needs child. A kid with autism, it's very different from, you know, like a child with different condition, because this is really complicated. It's not something that you can figure out, and it's a spectrum. Every child is so different. There's no one way to deal with them. And that's why if we understand that, if everybody understands that, try to help to make the journey, as I say, the journey easier for the family and the caregivers.
All right.
course,
Thank
I
you
like
so
that.
much.
I
Thank
like
you
that
so
from
much,
Mr.
Mr. Iman, for that insightful talks. Very inspiring. Thank you so much. And we hope the best for you and for Adam and for your
Obviously.
wife and for your family.
Obviously, and may God continue blessing you and also the rest of the family. Thank you once
Amen.
again, Mr.
Thank you.
Iman,
Thanks for
for
having
the
me.
talk for today. Bye now.
All right.